Okay folks, this is the global forecast for May 2016. So, the number of issues, only one or two of them are what I would call major. The Uranus-Pluto square is still around a little bit, but this month he's affecting a lot of you individually, not so much collectively. I'm not worried by that. Neither am I worried by the movement of Neptune, not Neptune on its own. Saturn retrograde in Sagittarius is ongoing. What does concern me, first of all, is that Jupiter, which has been retrograde for 4 or 5 months, is now standing still at the start of this month, and on May the 6th, May the 7th, Jupiter begins to move forward again. Thing is, as Jupiter does stand still and start moving forward, it's opposite Neptune and squaring Saturn. Now what this doesn't do is that it doesn't bring any clarity into any of the economic, financial or business situations that are going on around us at this time. You can expect to see, at least in the first week or two of this month, more news around companies going to the wall, not so much brilliant news around the financial and economic forecasts. Mars is retrograde in Sagittarius and then nipping back into Scorpio. Not too worried by that on its own, but we'll come back to Mars in a minute. Venus in Taurus all month, or at least until the last few days of the month when it moves into Gemini. Great, Venus loves being in Taurus, it's its favourite place in the sky. Mr. or Miss Sensuality. And you can expect people who are being positively aspected by Taurus, by Venus, to have a, I don't know, let's put on an inch or two on the waistline this month. You'll lose it again, but, you know, chocolate, beer, cakes, that type of thing. Now, the big things this month. There's a Mercury bloody retrograde. Mercury's been retrograde since the last week of April, and it's going to continue being retrograde until the 22nd, 23rd of the month. During this time, it doesn't make aspect to any of the big planets. In fact, it doesn't make aspect to any of the long-term, large-scale planets. But what it does do is it creates a lot of temporary confusion in a lot of personal lives. And I would expect a number of people to be getting misunderstandings, miscommunications, not getting the full picture. I'm not suggesting that there's lies or deceit or anything like that. I am suggesting that there's a lot of misunderstandings and miscommunication around what's happening, and there's no real clarity coming until we're into June. So for most of us, I would be saying no big plans. Idea, dream, vision, fantasy, imagination, creativity, absolutely yes. But plan, decision, action, wait until June. The new moon in Taurus on May the 6th is excellent. It is trine Pluto, trine Jupiter, conjunct the Sun, and it does suggest that those people born around the end of the first week of May, the first week of September, and the first week of January, if you're born at the end of the first week of these months, then this new moon at the start of May is an excellent opportunity for you, individuals, to do well financially. It is the full moon that concerns me. The full moon in May is on the 21st of May in the evening, UK time, about 9 PM. It is taking place at 1¼ degrees of Sagittarius, and it is going to be a finger width or less, a matchstick width away from Mars. Full moon conjunct retrograde Mars on the 21st/22nd of May. I have to assume that this is a warlike aspect. It does suggest that the more we get towards the full moon, the more we're going to see tempers flaring, spontaneous, radical actions happening without any forethought, and I would expect some type of militaristic or explosive energy and action to be taking place around the full moon. And my advice to everyone is be cautious at this time. If the very start of Sagittarius aspects your chart, then you're definitely on a count to 10, because it is an extremely volatile, impulsive and impatient aspect, and it will only be around for 2 or 3 days beforehand and 4 or 5 days after. but it's enough for a number of triggers and buttons to be pulled and pushed. If the world were my client and all the people part of it, I'd be saying, please be careful around the full moon. It's an extremely volatile full moon. It's a standalone one, it's not affecting anything else, and it's a one-off, but it's a bit dodgy. In fact, it's more than a bit dodgy. It could be very nasty. Forewarned is forearmed. Don't go out drinking heavily on the full moon this coming month. It's going to lead to trouble if you do. As far as May 2016 goes, planet Earth, with Mercury retrograde, you're not going to get clarity, so no big choices or decisions. Be careful around the full moon, and over the whole month, have a patient month.